Coming up on News Live at 6, a parking frenzy over the weekend at the Dome. Now, how SU is dealing with the game day traffic.
Plus, the second debate between John Mannion and Brandon Williams is tonight, what it means for the House.
And the Annie Tober 365 Foundation is making an impact on campus. All that and more. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Parking was one of the main concerns at the Dome over this past weekend. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Lauren Holdmeyer.
And I'm Kaitlin Campbell. Pop star Pink performed on Sunday and brought these issues to attention. While fans enjoyed Pink and the variety of events the Dome hosts throughout the year, the constant problem of parking looms.
Our Jude Bazerman has more about event parking and what it means for attendees. Jude, what are students and faculty saying?
Well, Lauren and Kaitlin, thank you. Students and faculty, really, they know it's not as straightforward as an answer to the parking frenzy as you and I might think, because on game days, Syracuse University handles the parking details, meaning that they decide what lots cars and buses will park in, while the Syracuse police are responsible for handling traffic on the roads and getting fans to those parking lots. But not everything in the JMA Wireless Dome is created equal. The event taking place, whether it be a football, basketball, or lacrosse game, or even a concert like Pink or Monster Jam, affects the strategy of the Syracuse Police Department.
We definitely employ more people based on the amount of expected attendance at the game. So we do get like a turnstile attendance usually. So we'll get that a couple days before of how many tickets are expected to be sold versus how many people are expected to be inside the dome. So we'll kind of staff the event based on that.
The effect of game day traffic isn't just noticeable around SU. It affects the entire city of Syracuse.
The highest traffic area that we try to deal with is people coming off of 81, obviously trying to get into the dome. It's tough to get 45,000 people in within an hour or two before the games.
And traffic near I-81 and other major roads in Syracuse isn't the only side effect of tens and thousands of people attending events in the Dome. There's an uptick in reported illegally parked cars around the city of Syracuse. In my conversation with Officer Coffey, he told me that while illegal parking is a common occurrence in Syracuse, it becomes more of an issue when traffic dramatically increases on the roads. While event parking and traffic is a complicated issue that can't be dealt with in one simple way, SU and the Syracuse Police Department are constantly looking for ways to improve. Just this year, Syracuse University began working with the app Waze, and the Syracuse Police Department released QR codes to help officers direct traffic to the right parking lots. Lauren, Kaitlin, back to you guys.
Thank you for that information, Jude. Syracuse University's Department of Public Safety is investigating a bias incident that happened near the Barnes Center. 2 students reported an unidentified male wearing an orange polo who shouted vulgar language and a homophobic slur at them. This incident occurred at 1 a.m. on Saturday. DPS officers are now reviewing all nearby surveillance footage and hopes to identify those responsible. DPS Chief Craig Stone says to contact DPS immediately if anyone has information that could help their investigation.
Well, a new sandwich shop is opening near SU's campus. The owners of Salt City Bread, a bakery in Manlius, are bringing the new restaurant to Nottingham Plaza with a similar name, Salt City Sandwich. The sandwich shop will take place of the a la mode cafe. Salt City Bread sells a variety of bagels and fresh baked breads on Wednesdays through Sundays. The owners say they plan to open the new shop by the end of the year.
And happening now on campus, a bake sale and philanthropy event for former Syracuse student Annie Eisner, who passed away last August after a battle with cancer. Through the Syracuse community and Eisner's commitments to cancer research, groups on campus are continuing her efforts. Our Cami Bremer is live from the event. Cami, what's going on over there?
The Annie Tober 365 Foundation honors Annie Eisner by celebrating as if it was her birthday every day, which recently just passed. The foundation funds for cancer research, supports bone marrow transplants, and inspires students all over to get involved. Here's how SU students on campus are participating.
Just remind ourselves even about the joy and positivity she radiated, and if we can do that each year, carry on her legacy and carry on teaching everyone about her mission and her family's mission as well. It feels like we're all interconnected through this one person, and it's really a beautiful thing to watch over social media.
Very heartwarming to see how students all over campus are getting involved and are somehow all connected to Annie and the impact of the foundation. For more information or to donate, make sure to go to annietober365.com. From News Live at 6, I'm Cami Bremer.
Well, Kaitlin, you could see Cami had on her coat, and that's one of the first times so far this semester that we've had to bring the coats out. I wore a heavier jacket around when I was around campus today. It's getting cold out there.
I know, we were even talking just before how we were actually cold today and hoping for the heat to turn on.
Yeah, totally.
That's like the first time I feel like I've ever had to say that.
Yep.
But our weather anchor, Tyler Oldano, has more about whether this warm weather or this cold weather actually that we're seeing is here to stay. Tyler?
I know, right? The weather here feels like Katy Perry. It's hot and cold. Well, it's going to be cooling down a little bit. Tonight, right now, we should be seeing a little bit of rain coming into our evening. Just some drizzles for now. Later tonight, you're going to be seeing some rain, though. Let's just take a look at later tonight. 51 degrees at 9 p.m. That's going to kind of continue to lower all the way down to 3 a.m. with 47. So get that jacket on if you're going outside. And the showers, those are going to continue as well. We have a little bit of drizzling happening within the next hour or so, I'd say. When it starts exactly, I don't quite know, but it's going to be coming really, really soon. And that rain's going to kind of continue into the morning and into tomorrow as well, where it's 57 and slightly overcast. In the afternoon, you're going to be seeing those drops come down. So keep that in mind once you go outside. That's all I have for right now. Laura and Kaitlin, back to you.
Thank you, Tyler. A 13-year-old boy fatally shot a 16-year-old yesterday morning at a home in the north side of Syracuse, according to the Syracuse Police Department. Police found the 13-year-old, detained him, and he is now awaiting arraignment. Police say the boy has been charged with second-degree manslaughter and second-degree criminal possession of a weapon. Officials have yet to release any information on the type of weapon used or who it belongs to.
The Ronald McDonald House is opening 6 new family suites as part of a $1 million expansion project. The Central New York charity can now house 33 families at once. The newest addition will support families with children receiving medical treatment at Syracuse area hospitals. This is the result of nearly 20 years of planning and fundraising by the foundation. In total, the project cost $1.1 million, including $200,000 from in-kind donations. The organization also plans to launch a hospitality cart at Krause Hospital in the coming months.
The West Hills School District has a new name for its sports teams. Formerly known as the Warriors, the district's new nickname is the West Hill Wolfpack. The new name will take effect in July. The district will continue to use the Warrior nickname and imagery until then. The change comes nearly 2 years after New York banned schools from using Native American names or logos. The Warrior name was determined to be connected to Native American culture, although the current Warrior design does not depict the culture or likeliness of Native Americans.
And a letter of concerns from the State Board of Elections says Onondaga County actions threaten the integrity of the upcoming election. The memo is dated October 4th following a visit from the State Board the previous day. This visit was triggered regarding an ongoing backlog of voter registrations and early voting requests. Issues include misuse of staff resources and insufficient adherence to proper election processes. The county board is also accused of failure to process military and overseas voter documents.
Congressman Brandon Williams and State Senator John Mannion will face off in their second debate tonight for New York's 22nd Congressional District. The first debate happened just last week right here on campus. The race for New York 22 is one that will be followed closely this election cycle, as the winner could determine which party controls the House of Representatives next year. The debate will air tonight on WCNY at 8 o'clock and on PBS's streaming site. And now turning to the latest, a former New York City official was charged in the still developing Mayor Adams case. Mohammed Bahi of Staten Island was charged with witness tampering and with destroying evidence. This comes just after Adams' top deputy mayor Sheena Wright resigned from her position. Wright is one of multiple officials to resign from the Adams administration, and that's just so far. We'll keep you updated on the latest of this developing story.
While breakdancing is no longer an Olympic sport, it may help you land a movie gig. The casting agency and casting is encouraging teenagers and young adults to send any videos of them breakdancing for the chance to appear in a movie being filmed in the Syracuse area. The project also needs men and women between the ages of 18 and 23 to play high school students for scenes starting next week. More details about the film have not been announced yet, but anyone interested should contact Annie at andcasting.com. I-81 is going to be causing some traffic issues for Syracuse drivers yet again this week.
New York State Department of Transportation says that the on-ramp from Sunset Avenue to I-81 northbound exit 23 will close 3 separate times this week. The closures will happen daily from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. starting tonight through this Thursday. The Department of Transportation is warning drivers to expect delays.
And moving upstate, 2 horses have reportedly been diagnosed with mosquito-borne illnesses in Jefferson County and another with West Nile virus. A person in Jefferson County has also tested positive for the West Nile virus, making it the first case in New York since 2008. The health department recommends people to cover up and apply EPA insect repellent to exposed skin when heading outdoors.
Coming up on News Live at 6, President Biden canceled his trip abroad in preparation for Hurricane Milton. What his critics have said.
Plus, Israel claims it has dealt a massive blow to Hezbollah. All that and more after the break.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome to my house. Everybody's pretty tired of each other. The walls were closing in. Clearly a case of too much family, too close, 24/7. If this sounds like your house, try going someplace new. YourLifeYourVoice.org. You'll find lots of ideas to help you handle the family stresses of being confined to close quarters. YourLifeYourVoice.org. It could help you find a little more breathing room.
You're watching Citrus TV News live at 6 with Lauren Holdmeyer, Kaitlin Campbell, and Tyler Oldano. Now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' aide says he is not taking calls from Vice President Kamala Harris about Hurricane Helene. The aide allegedly says DeSantis was avoiding the calls because they, quote, seemed political.
However, DeSantis spoke yesterday at a press conference saying that he, quote, didn't know the vice president had called and denies claims that anyone in his office had stated the incoming calls were political.
Now, Hurricane Milton is expected to make landfall Wednesday morning and is going to be the first hurricane to hit the Tampa Bay area head-on in more than a century. The storm is expected to be a Category 3 when it hits the shore.
We have our weather anchor and Tampa native Tyler Oldano to break down the storm for us in studio. Tyler, what do you think the preparations look like for the city?
Thank you guys so much. The preparations for the city have been immense so far. People are evacuating outside of Tampa and areas like St. Pete. St. Pete in particular looks like a ghost town right now, as a lot of the residents have made their way out from the coastal areas and into the inland areas. A lot of them are also going up north to make sure they're safe and away from that storm surge. What exactly the aftermath of the storm is going to look like, though, that's a whole different meaning. We don't really know what it's going to look like, just that it's not going to be very good. Where people are preparing for the worst, and we'll keep you posted as this story develops. Kaitlin, Lauren, back to you.
Thank you so much for that update, Tyler. And now to the latest in the Middle East. Israel says it has killed 2 successors to Hezbollah's former leader Hassan Nasrallah.
In a video addressed to the people of Lebanon, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke about Israel's military achievements.
We've degraded Hezbollah's capabilities. We took out thousands of terrorists, including Nasrallah himself, and Nasrallah's replacement, and the replacement of his replacement.
President Biden is postponing his planned trip to Germany and Angola due to Hurricane Milton. Biden was supposed to leave Thursday and return next week. This would mark the first time he would travel to Africa as president.
Instead, Biden is going to oversee preparations for Hurricane Milton. Critics, including former President Donald Trump, say Biden has not done enough for the area affected by the Hurricane Helene. Biden says he plans to reschedule his visit overseas before the end of his term.
TikTok is being sued by over a dozen states and the District of Columbia, including New York State. The lawsuits, which are coming after an investigation launched in 2022, allege TikTok is harming youth mental health by designing its platform to be addictive to kids.
New York Attorney General James says, quote, young people are struggling with their mental health because of addictive social media platforms like TikTok. TikTok does not allow children under 13 to have an account, but the lawsuits say children can easily bypass those restrictions.
You know what, guys? I can live without TikTok. You know what I can't live without? Our wonderful weather forecast we'll have right for you after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News 11:6. I'm Tyler Oldano with your weather coming up for the 5-day forecast. Take a look at Wednesday. Tomorrow we're going to be seeing some rain. Not too much in the morning, but in the evening, that's when it's really going to hit you. Thursdays, 54 is the high and 41 going to be the low. Those clouds are going to stick around throughout the week in some capacity. They're not going to be as intense as they will be on Thursday, but they'll kind of be there in some form. Friday and Saturday going to be sticking in those high 60s ranges, in the 40s for the low. And Sunday, that rain's returning with a vengeance, so be careful with that when you go outside. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be heading out, possibly going and visiting some family for the fall weekend. So let's take a look at your Friday forecast and breaking it down. What kind of temperatures you may be seeing as you depart for the airport. 8 a.m. it's going to be pretty cold, 41. Nothing too bad though. Make sure to pack a light jacket for when you're on that plane, because you know those planes get really, really chilly when they get off in the air. Noon, going to be getting up to 55, so you won't be needing that jacket too much anymore depending on where you're going. If you're going down to maybe like Georgia, you won't be needing that jacket at all. Now, at 3 p.m., the temperature is going to keep on rising a little bit. You're not going to really be seeing too much rain, but at around 8 p.m., you may be seeing a little bit of drizzle, and that's going to kind of continue on to the night. That's all I got for you right now. What's coming up for the rest of News Live at 6?
Thank you, Tyler. A U.S. federal judge has ruled Google will have to open up its App Store to give more opportunity to Android competitors. For the next 3 years, Google cannot prohibit the use of in-app payment methods. The order will also prevent Google from paying phone manufacturers to pre-install the Google Play Store.
Google has denied claims in all 3 cases and says it will appeal the verdict. This ruling comes 1 year after a separate court decision that Google was charging higher fees for outside app developers. And now we had a great sports weekend for Syracuse, but what's more coming up in sports, Hudson?
Yeah, no, we have a lot coming up in sports, specifically how the Jets made a big mid-season coaching change. That and more returns when Live at 6 returns in just a moment.
Here we go. We're going to go out there in the rain. You're going to get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Hey guys, I haven't been fired yet, so you know what that means? It's time for sports. I'm Hudson Ridley. Former Jets head coach Robert Saleh, though, wasn't so lucky as me today. New York fired Saleh this morning after 3 straight losing seasons. The first-time head coach was let go following the Jets' loss on Sunday, moving New York to 2-3 on the season. The Jets are promoting defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich to fill Saleh's role as interim head coach for the remainder of the season. According to NFL insider Jordan Schultz, after learning of his firing, Saleh was escorted out of the Jets facility by security without a chance to meet with the team or give an explanation to players. Saleh is New York's 6th straight head coach to serve more than 1 season without an overall winning record. The Jets' last head man to have more wins than losses was Bill Parcells back in the late 90s. New York hosts Buffalo next week on Monday for Monday Night Football. Back here on the Hill, Syracuse football returned from Vegas after its 44-41 win over UNLV. SU quarterback Kyle McCord aired out the ball for over 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. It came on a career-high 63 pass attempts, a number SU head coach Fran Brown is comfortable with.
Just do whatever is going to allow us to win. I mean, you know we trust Kyle, right? Like, I trust Kyle a lot. Everybody trusts Kyle. He does a good job, and he's able to handle that. It's more so, of course, we trust him a lot, but it's just what the defense is giving at the moment for us to be able to take and give.
All that work from Kyle McCord on Friday put the QB in pretty good company. The senior's 40 completions were tied for 4th in a single game by a Syracuse quarterback, while his 63 pass attempts was 2nd most in a game behind SU's matchup with Northwestern in 2012, a game that young Hudson attended as a Wildcats fan out in Chicago. The Orange hit the road again on Saturday, to take on NC State, a team that's allowed 33.7 points per game. That's the most in the ACC, a little decline from where they used to be. Speaking of road trips, Syracuse men's soccer is in the midst of a short 1-game trip out east. After picking up its first ACC win just days ago against Notre Dame, SU travels to Providence to take on the Friars. This is a Providence team that was at one point ranked this season and currently sits at 6-3-2. Syracuse, though, on the road, still undefeated at 2-0-2. That will be tested in just a matter of hours. Down in the Big Apple, the Yankees had the Bronx rocking once again for Game 2 of the ALDS against the Royals. However, the home crowd just wasn't enough to guide them to the win. New York's 4-2 loss evens up the series at 1 game apiece. All 4 of those runs were given up by starter Carlos Rodon in just 3 2/3 innings, no less. Yankees manager Aaron Boone saw him start to slip in the 4th inning.
Just a tough inning where his command got away from him, especially some of the secondary, because stuff-wise, he was excellent tonight, but then all of a sudden just a little scattered there.
While that series moves to Kansas City, the Mets are currently hosting the Phillies down in Queens for Game 3 of the NLDS. Right now, the Mets with a 1-0 lead off a solo shot from Pete Alonso in the bottom of the 2nd. Sean Manaea shoving right now. 4 innings pitched, no earned runs, just allowing 2 hits and picking up 2 strikeouts. The Phillies right now just kind of floundering in this game.
Unfortunately, I wish that wasn't the case. I wish it had another repeat of I think it was Friday's game?
Friday's game.
Yes.
A great game for that one. Phillies coming back in that one against the Mets. But this Mets team, it's a little bit different this year. I'm not a Mets fan, but I always hear Mets fans complain about they always give up. They haven't given up yet this year.
I will say, I'm not a Mets fan either, but I actually went to my first Mets game this summer, and it was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
They put a lot of runs on the board. They looked good, so I'm excited to see how far they make it in the postseason.
Exactly. It's always a show no matter what, so we should be in for a little bit more exciting baseball as the fall goes along, and maybe both the Mets and the Yankees will be in it for a little while.
We'll see. I'm personally hoping that the Yankees won't, because they're playing the Royals right now, which is my hometown team. So I'm hoping we'll see those Royals move on to the ALCS, and we're at home this week, so
you never know. I like their odds. I really do like their odds.
Well, thank you so much, Hudson, for all of that, and when we return, we'll have your wake-up weather.
Jason, let's go see your room.
Women are bad with money.
It's what the world's been saying for centuries.
But now, we've got something to say.
Save it. Save the old-fashioned advice, the empty excuses.
It's all worthless, unlike us.
To our fellow females, it is time to save ourselves by saving our money.
Contributing to our futures, investing in our independence.
Until we're no longer 80%
more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
So again, we say to that,
Save it. The falsehoods, the feelings of fault. Then the funds.
learn how to save for your retirement at wesaysaveit.org.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Let's take a look at your weather waking up tomorrow. You're going to be seeing some temperatures of around 46 degrees, some overcast skies. The rain's going to come later in the day, so make sure you're prepared for that as you walk outside your door. Keep in mind that the rain is going to be a bit later in the night, so maybe bring that umbrella once you visit your apartment or your dorm. Maybe in the afternoon you shouldn't have to haul around with you all day, but that's enough for the weather. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on for Halloween season.
Yeah, well, Tyler, 46 degrees, that seems pretty chilly to me. Chilly weather, you know what that means? It's almost time for Halloween. And the Rosenwald Gifford Zoo is getting into the Halloween spirit with their annual Zoo Boo. The event starts this weekend and it will take place every Saturday and Sunday in October. This kooky not spooky celebration will offer trick-or-treating, a costume parade, a scavenger hunt, and more for all attendees.
Regular zoo admission is required for the event. Zoo members can grab tickets in advance through the zoo website. Now, this seems like a great idea if you're staying on campus this weekend, or if you just want to get into the Halloween spirit. I mean, I feel like it's one of the only opportunities really to do so.
Definitely. Do you guys think you'll check it out?
I never visited the Syracuse Zoo. If I had a little bit of time, I would. I like these events that they do, light shows or anything like this. I think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a scaredy cat, so I heard the phrase kooky, not spooky, and my heart fluttered with joy. I cannot do jump scares. I don't do horror. So, I'm all in for a little kitschy fun. It's like, not too scary, but just enough to kind of get your hair to stand up on end, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I have to say, I really miss trick-or-treating from when I was a kid. So, if you want to go to the zoo, maybe you'll get to do some trick-or-treating
Let's make it happen.
when you're younger. Yeah. Well, that's all the time we have for you today on Citrus TV News Live at 6.
Don't forget you can follow us on X and Instagram at CitrusTV News. Now for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Kaitlin Campbell.
And I'm Lauren Holdmeyer. Have a wonderful evening, Syracuse.